How many times have you tried to sort your barren fruit trees, only to realize that you have no idea which tree is which? Now, what if we used the design tool to its full potential? Hi everyone, I'm Backrolls, and welcome to the Nintendo Nerds, a series where we talk about art, design, and all things Nintendo. So stick around, because in today's video, I'll be sharing some ideas to make you more comfortable using the Animal Crossing New Horizons Designer Tool and Pro Designer Tool. First off, thanks so much to those of you that provided some feedback. We are part of several Discord communities where we asked some Animal Crossing players what they'd like to see more videos on. One of the pieces of feedback we received a lot was the need for some tips on the design tool. We've got more helpful Animal Crossing videos on the way, as well as weekly nerdy Nintendo conversations, and we are so close to being able to make community posts. We really want to get there, so go on, click that subscribe button. It would really help us out a lot. So I'm here today to show you a few different ideas to make the most of both the design and the pro design tools. And I'll share a few tips for laying down some amazing double layer pathways while we're at it. So let's jump right in. First off, my project that got me the most comfortable with the design tool, and the one I'd recommend to get you started if you haven't dabbled in it already, is to make some fruit stamps. In my first few weeks of Animal Crossing, when I had ventured to everyone else's islands and traded trees, but I didn't have the Able Sisters clothing shop, I was swimming in a sea of confusion. I had no idea which trees were which, and I always had to wait until they were bearing fruit before I could do any organizing, and that just wasn't going to fly. Now, I'm no expert pixel artist, but I loved messing around on Microsoft Paint as a kid, and I'm here to tell you it's basically the same thing. Rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, I made my fruit stamps based upon some already existing fruit pixel art. In this case, like the pear, I actually took my reference from Miss Pac-Man. I actually chose this one to recreate for this video because Animal Crossing pears also have a yellow base that I missed in my first stamp, so this was a good opportunity anyway. The best advice I can give on the design tool is once you have some kind of idea of what you want to make, there's no need to be precious or careful about it. Just dive right in. You're not going to break it. What I find really helpful is starting from an existing reference, but when recreating that in Animal Crossing, I keep a close eye on the demo of how the art will look in-game. As I added the yellow base to this pear, you can see that I realized that I was going to need to change it up a bit. I needed to move my spots around, I played around with adding more shininess like my apple stamps, and I flipped the color back and forth a few times. All of this is so much easier when you already have a lot of work on the canvas. It's much easier to reshape and redesign an existing pear than it would have to construct it entirely from imagination. And if you'd like to recreate your work from the ground up, that's up to you, but you'll save a lot of time and energy if you don't try to reinvent the wheel here. Don't be afraid to adjust colors of something you've already finished either. You can adjust the hues and values of each color in your palette without having to remove them from your finished work. So that's my pear stamp. I had a really fun time spending 1 or 2 hours designing all of my fruit stamps and my bell bag, and I think you will too. But what if you insist, no, I'm not good with the designer, I just want to use some of the amazing existing work that's already out there. Let me help you with that too. You'll need your Able Sisters shop to download designs from New Horizons, and you'll need the Nintendo Online app on a real-life phone in order to download QR codes from past games. Nowadays, it's really easy to find so many amazing user-submitted designs. Google is your best friend here. Just try searching Animal Crossing Path Designs and look at the bevy of options available to you. From some cute cobblestones to the Death Star deck, there's a seemingly endless display of really cute options that are free and ready to download. All you have to do is grab a screenshot when you find one that you like, and input the maker code or the design code at the Able Sisters kiosk. From there, I want to show you a few sidewalk laying tricks to get you on your way. Once you have held KK Slider's concert and unlocked the Island Designer app, you can consider doubling up your sidewalks with a pattern overlaid on top of your paths. Not only does it look great, but double-layered sidewalks are much quieter. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty glad that nowadays on my island I don't hear my villagers stomping around everywhere. As you can see, the image will even follow the curve of the path, so you can make a more natural looking walkway, but that's all just a matter of preference. Now, laying down patterns en masse can be a real pain, but there's a way to minimize the amount of times you have to move and correct your steps. When laying down floor stamps, unless the ground is covered already by a pattern or by an item, it will always follow this pattern in a 3x3 grid. Directly below you, in front of your villager, in front to the right, in front to the left, directly to the right, directly to the left, behind and to the right, behind and to the left, and finally right behind you. Now you can exploit this and make sure your villager's right side is facing places you still need to cover. It sounds difficult, but once you get used to the pattern, you'll be laying down cobblestones with speed and style. Finally today, let me show you a time-lapse of playing with the Pro Designer as well. Now, I don't know the first thing about making textiles in real life. We will hopefully have some guests on the show soon that can give you some incredible Pro Designer ideas based on real-life clothing. But again, I think to start, you just need to know what it is you want to make going in, and that will make this so much easier to accomplish. In this instance, I knew I wanted to repurpose a poison mushroom that I'd already designed as a hoodie into a ball cap. But as you can probably tell from this footage, I didn't have some grand playbook for this. A lot of the design tool is trial and error, and making sure you keep an eye on the corner display to just make sure it's coming out all right. I didn't even know if I could add a brightly colored brim to this hat, but I decided it would be worth exploring. Again, keeping in mind that you can always adjust later, there were several experiments I tried here. First, I tried to make the mushroom very off-center, but that didn't work. And then I tried to make an ombre gradient in my checkmark background, but that was starting to look really weird on the in-game item. The point is, again, you're not going to break it. When finalizing the brim, I also found the symmetry tool to be extremely helpful. It made building a base of stripes much easier that I could then expand upon. There are other tools within the Procreator I'll have to explore for you, but I think that's a video for another day. And there you have it, 3 ideas to get you better acquainted with the Animal Crossing design tools. We hope that you leave this video ready to make some incredible Animal Crossing designs, and that you found this video helpful. For more nerdy conversations about art, design, and video games, be sure to click subscribe. As always, we hope you leave this video ready to pick up a Pro Controller, a paintbrush, or a pen. I'm Backrolls, and this has been the Nintendo Nerds.